New and revealing details are emerging about Governor Sarah Palin's behavior on the campaign trail. Governor Palin says there's not an ounce of diva in her.
They know me. They know my values, what I stand for. They know my work ethic. They know that certainly there is absolutely no diva in me. In fact, we laugh about that criticism. And if only people, come on up and travel with us to Alaska and see this diva lifestyle that I supposedly live or would demand, because that's just false.
The New York Times reports Palin and John McCain were not in frequent contact in the final days of the campaign, and Palin's future political ambitions might have been the central catalyst. Michael Cooper is a political reporter for the paper and covered the McCain campaign. Michael, so good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
How real is this anger between the John McCain camps and the Sarah Palin camps, or is this just the inevitable stuff that happens at the end of a losing campaign?
Well, look, whoever said that success has many fathers clearly has never covered the end of a losing political campaign. Everybody is blaming everybody else, pointing the fingers of, saying that they were responsible for the failure. But one of the clear fault lines that's emerged in the last couple of days was the tension between the McCain camp and the Palin camp in the final days of the campaign. It seems like,
I want to read from part of the article in the New York Times today that says, quote, "The disputes between the campaigns centered in large part on the RNC's $150,000 wardrobe for Mrs. Palin and her family, but also on what McCain advisors considered Ms. Palin's lack of preparation for her disastrous interview with Katie Couric of CBS News and her refusal to take advice from Mr. McCain's campaign. But behind those episodes may be a greater subtext, anger within the McCain campaign that Ms. Palin harbored political ambitions beyond 2008. And then, Michael, I thought this was very interesting. I want to play for you this clip of some reporting that Carl Cameron did on Fox News Channel. Listen.
I just want to rattle off a couple of the things that insiders say she just simply didn't know. There were real problems with basic civics, government structures, municipal, state, and federal government responsibilities. She didn't know the nations involved in the North American Free Trade Agreement, we're told. Those, of course, being the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. NAFTA, a major campaign issue, that would have been something of a deficit. We're told that she wasn't actually able to name all the countries in North America as part of that debate. And she didn't understand, McCain aides told me today, that Africa was a continent and not a country, and actually asked them, they say, if South Africa wasn't just part of the country as opposed to a country in the continent.
Michael, that's pretty stunning, whether it's true or not, that she may not have known whether Africa was a continent or not. What do you know about this?
I was amazed. I mean, that was a pretty stunning report from Campaign Carl on your competitor over there. I had not heard the bill of particulars, but certainly some of the McCain people had been saying that they thought that she was woefully unprepared for a lot of these things. I know that when she first practiced for her debate with Senator Biden, they were kind of aghast at the first debate prep session, and they really kind of went into an emergency mode to try to get her ready. And that's why one of the reasons they were so relieved when she seemed to survive it, more or less.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now we have this, that she doesn't know Africa was a continent, that she was a diva and that spending more money on clothes than anybody knew about. Newsweek reporting that she came out to meet some of the McCain senior aides in just a towel wrapped around her, coming from the shower, and a towel around her head. Meg Stapleton, who is Sarah Palin's spokesperson, has sent me this statement, and I want to read it on our air. Quote, "This is so unfortunate and quite honestly sickening. The accusations we are hearing and reading are not true, and since we deny all these anonymous allegations, there is nothing specific to which we will respond. We have the highest regards for Senator John McCain. Governor Palin was honored to be chosen as McCain's running mate, and as governor of Alaska, Governor Palin looks forward to working with President-elect Obama on security, energy, independence for America." Michael, what's going on here? Why are there senior McCain advisors who are saying this stuff about Sarah Palin? Are they deflecting blame? I mean, they chose her as the VP. They did just not know these things, or what is it?
Well, there certainly is a lot of finger-pointing going on right now, and that may be one of the motivations. It's hard to read into people's motivations. But at a time when the campaign is being second-guessed on almost everything, from the decision to run sort of towards the right during the general election instead of towards the middle, some of the attacks that were lodged against Senator Obama in the final days of the campaign when the electorate seemed more concerned about the economy. One of the places that a lot of people inside the McCain camp are pointing their fingers to is at Governor Sarah Palin. So whether that's where they really think the problem was or whether it's an effort to deflect blame from themselves, it's hard to tell.
Michael Cooper with the New York Times. Great to have you on. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.